Hi, Bes Frens.
I'm Miggs.
I'm Ardis.
And I'm sexy. Oh, sexy, and I know what to. Oh, wow.
I was watching reruns of The Real on YouTube, and it was just like one of their girl chat clips.
Okay.
The question that they posed was, what's an appropriate amount of time for you?
How long should you be
how long
engaged
should
for?
you be engaged?
I think that it really, so me personally, I think engagement should be dependent on your life situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, are you financially set to get married? Because I know you can love someone so much that you want to be like, I want to marry you. So like, maybe you're not financially set to immediately jump into a wedding, you know? And I think that weddings take a long time to plan. The type of wedding that I want will probably take me like a good 6 months to plan. Six to maybe 8 months. I think on average it's about a year people stay engaged for.
A year's good.
Yeah, a year's not
I
too
think
bad,
as
right?
long as you have like a date.
Usually the date is agreed on by both parties.
Well, yeah, but I think it's important to like have a suggestion or know that at a certain point you within that same year or within months of when you engage, you have an intention to get married, because you also see men propose to keep women from leaving them. You know what I mean? Like in the episode they said an engagement ring is meant to be the intention to wed.
Yeah. It's
not intended to scare other men off for a long period of time. That's not an engagement, that's witchcraft. You know what I mean?
It's perfect.
It's witchcraft.
That's a perfect way of putting it.
If you're only proposing to me so other people are not interested in me, I don't want to marry you.
I think that's stupid. But
just don't propose to me.
I think a year is a decent amount of time, a maximum amount of time that I would ever want to be engaged, because it's like, if you've proposed, your intention is to wed. Because when you're in a long-term relationship, mind you, if you're in a long-term relationship and you're living together and you're sharing finances and you have animals together and you have I'm just saying, if you have a life together, maybe not that
disgusting.
Long-term relationships, you pretty much have established your life already. So by the time an engagement comes around, it's like, okay, we know that we need to take it to that next level. But I think the maximum amount of time should definitely be about a year.
I love that communication too. I think as a man, before he proposes, should establish that. I think that's very responsible, and I think it's very respectful if it's agreed upon that either start saving or start putting money down,
some shit,
or do a little bit of a cheaper wedding. But
what about you?
Me what? Me what?
If you were ever proposed to, how long would you think appropriate to stay engaged prior to marriage?
I think for me, a year is still a little long. I think 6 months to a year. Let's say it's January, and you propose to me in January. You should know a date before you propose to me. You should know which month would work best for us to get married in. Engagement is not just the next level of my relationship. Engagement is our little boyfriend-girlfriend relationship situation is like this. That chapter is closed.
Yep.
We need to figure out when it is we're gonna be betrothed, betrothed. Badonk-a-donk. You better know that it's not gonna last more than a year. Otherwise, if we've been dating, personally, if we have been dating for over 3 years, I'm not going to continue to be in that relationship if we're not getting married in the next year. I will not be in a relationship for longer than 4 years and not be married.
I mean, think about that. Logistically, I think that when you have a life, that you are working towards together, literally, logistically, imagine you have a mortgage that you're paying.
For 3 years, you can't get your finances together?
No, it's not saying that.
So what are you saying?
What if you were saving for a house? You'd rather do a house prior to getting married.
Why?
I'm saying, that's what
I want to get married before we buy a house so we can be married when we get our house. So that we can make that decision in our marriage.
That's fair.
I don't believe marriage is the start of a new chapter. I don't think marriage is a different level of our relationship. I think marriage is the beginning of our life together. You and I make the agreement to live the rest of our lives together. It's a partnership.
Yeah.
When we're dating, I don't think we're gonna combine our lives together and we're gonna share finances. For me, I personally would never share finances with someone that I'm just in a relationship with. Done it before, horrible decision. My last relationships have completely changed the way that I think about marriage now. It's because I was treating my boyfriends like my husband. I'm not gonna treat my relationship like my marriage, because a marriage is just a completely different agreement. You can date for up to 3 years But by 3 years, you should know whether or not you want to marry me. And if you don't want to marry me, then let's not do this, because I'm in a relationship with you to get married with you.
I've been in my relationship for 6 years in October.
Madam, I said for me personally, but that's just how I feel because of my past relationships.
I feel you. I feel like I have always been the type to be wifey.
You're used to doing that from like day one.
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
That's like your vibe.
I don't know how to date.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No.
No. Age.
You are old, yes.
Okay, tell me. Speak more on that.
No, you just said age. That's just my opinion on age. You're old.
Oh.
What were you asking?
Does age matter in marriage?
Oh.
For you personally.
Yeah,
Like, do you have a specific age where you're just like, I don't think I'll ever want to get married. I think I'll just want to like live my life the way I live my life. You could just get married whenever you feel like you want to get married.
I think you come to a realization, like, I'm just maybe not here for, I don't need marriage.
Or maybe not made. Yeah.
You know?
Maybe not made for marriage.
Yeah, or maybe that's
something-
not like one of my goals. Because a lot of people, like, that's one of their goals is like, I want to grow up, I want to have a good job, I want to be financially independent, and I want to be
like
married.
3 of those.
Right. My point is, at some point you have a realization of maybe this is for me, maybe it's not for me.
Right.
If I've been single for a long time and I've been actively dating, and I start to notice like, oh, maybe I'm just being too picky, or I continue to be too picky, but I'm not willing to like budge on that.
Yeah.
I don't think maybe it's not necessarily that I'm too picky. Maybe I just don't like the idea of marriage because I don't like to be tied down to people, or I'm too independent for my own good, or I don't feel like I need somebody to offer what like marriages offer, because like what is a marriage really? Like a partnership, right? Like
It's an agreement between two
an
people.
agreement between two people to be married, to be partners, for better or for worse. And some people don't need people to be there for them for better or for worse. Some people are perfectly fine being there for themselves through better or for worse. Like for me personally, if I never got engaged or married, I would be 100% fine, because I have friends like you, my friends from high school. Since I just have a lot of friends that are always around me, and that never better relationships or more productive relationships or empowering relationships than any man has ever been. That now at this point, if I compare my friendships, even just
good.
like a regular friendship, to those of like my exes, like I can now literally just be like, you're not as important to me as my friends are. You just don't make me feel how my friends make me feel about myself. I don't want to be with you.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
And
Because
and if I never feel that feeling, I'll be fine, because I know where to find them.
so like if you can't even in your romantic relationship achieve the same like feeling or level as
Or
like
of
your
love.
best friendship,
Yeah.
like
Then
what
why
are you
in it?
doing?
Yeah.
What are you
Because
doing?
then you don't need that person.
Yeah.
That person literally is just there for like loneliness, like for you to avoid loneliness. I think another thing that people do a lot of times when they're like engaged or even in relationships to get married or anything is they want to solidify someone there for the rest of their lives so that they're never lonely. One of the worst reasons you can ever use to get married.
Message.
Being alone is one of the best things you can do to get to know yourself and to learn yourself. If you're not solid in yourself and you're using someone else to cure loneliness, you use that reason to get married. When you use someone or marriage to avoid loneliness, and then you find yourself in a marriage where you feel lonely, that has then defeated the entire purpose, and you've wasted so much time, and it causes so many more problems.
People stay in like long-term relationships longer because it's almost like they're trying to, and this is maybe I'm kind of speaking from like experience, but it's like you almost try to get the kinks out first. Personally, being in a long-term relationship, I like that because I get to learn that person.
It's about to get real. Do you think, on that same note, sometimes you love that person so much and you've invested so much time, which is like one of the major reasons people stay in relationships, because you've invested so much time. It's not necessarily that you're waiting to like figure all the kinks out, but you just don't want to give up on all the time you've invested in that relationship.
I think that that is a very good point. Yes, time is a valuable commodity, especially at my age, which is young. It is a valuable commodity. I feel like that goes with anything. When you put time into something, you've invested something into that. just like money.
Yeah.
You don't want to lose out on your investment. At some point, you have to cut your losses and you have to say, okay, well, this is a loss.
Right.
But that comes with the fact that you've learned that person, you've learned their insecurities. Maybe you hit a plateau, right? There are plateaus that you can reach where you're just like, no, done. I'm done with this,
Right.
which I've reached 2 times now.
Damn.
Damn.
You've been hurt.
That's a whole nother video.
Girl, I can tell you been crying and you need somebody to talk to. Girl, I can tell you been lying and pretending that he's faithful and he loves you. Girl, you have to be hiding. Don't be ashamed to say you heard you. I'm your girl. We your girl.
What? That's something about a girl?
There's lots of girls in that.
Don't you know that we love you?
Yeah, just-
I had to take it back.
Whew. Girl. Yes, time is very valuable. It's important. But everybody has a limit.
Yeah.
Everybody has a limit. There
Yes.
is a cutoff point in whatever mindset you're in where enough is enough. I think that it's very important to set a date at the forefront.
Yes.
Once we've made that official, like, yes, we're gonna do this, it's gonna be it's a train. It's a train, and it has a
And chugga
chugga
the
until
little train
that
that
day.
could. Okay.
Okay.
But only until a year. After that, he's
year?
gonna be off the track.
No, there's no after that. Like, literally, we will book our venue first thing. We're booking our venue because you can't get out of it at that point.
Right.
Unless you don't want your deposit back.
How much are deposits? A lot?
Some of these venues, bitch, cost $15,000.
And maybe I just don't want to get married. It's no one that I know in my
That's what I'm
life that I would
saying.
want to marry that's worth that much. Or you got finessed. Or you got finessed. And let me tell you one more thing. And let me tell you one more thing. Okay? If we have reached to the point, if we have reached the
We're getting
point,
divorced.
if we have been together long enough to be recognized by the state
As a common law.
as married, and you haven't proposed, bitch, the state already got proposed to me on your behalf.
You didn't even do it first.
You,
You
the
didn't do it
nerve.
first. The
the
goal.
gumption. What the?
Yeah.
I cannot. I can't. I won't, and I refuse to.
Did you look up in the dictionary?
And I found out that I can't.
I can't.
I googled it, and you know what I found out?
What did you find out?
I can't.
I can't.
I looked it up on Wikipedia. You know what I found out?
What did you find out?
I can't.
I can't.
Bitch, I even turned on my Grindr notifications, and they told me that I can't.
They told you can't?
They said I can't.
They said that he can't.
Do not let the state finesse you into being married before you allow someone else to propose to you.
No, that's actually me.
How
we are
long?
literally
Next
technically
year,
married.
you'll be 5 years?
6 years.
Shit. Moral of this story.
Of this story is.
Do not let the state finesse you into being married before you let a man propose to you.
Or woman.
Or woman.
Whatever you're into.
Or whoever. Or all,
Non-binary
Or any
individual.
other pronouns.
Yeah.
Okay, bye. That's it. Love you. Bye.
Bye.